Hello YouTube, and welcome to part 2 of episode 2 of my F1 2012 career. Here we are in the race session of Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, off the top of my head because I am dead at the moment. And we are starting from 7th place. We are starting from 7th place, and race start is go, and we are off, and off to a good start down the inside line and straight past the inside McLaren on the left hand side, and all those cars zooming right past and braking heavily down to the first corner. Is there going to be any contact? This is usually quite messy, so hugging the inside line, speeding out to get some speed down to the outside. This is what Ferraris did in this year's championship, and it works for me as well, bringing up to 3rd place just behind Alonso, and I think that's better in front. We have 1 plus 1 lap of fuel, which means we are on aggressive mode, which means we are looking for a good start. Oh, and someone hit the rear of my bumper. That was not me making contact with Alonso at all. And cars zooming past there, right through this high-speed corner here. It's very tricky to keep up a good pace without coming off the throttle fully. Down 2 gears as we come to this section, and straight on the gas. Coming off a bit there on the left-hand side. Put the fuel level to rich mix. We want to get as much speed out of these tyres as possible, which because we are on the option at the moment, and spinning out dramatic as we come into that hairpin there, but it went a bit too heavy onto the gas, which led the back to come out, and Alonso is off. Alonso is into the gravel, and we take advantage. He's coming into 2nd place, so we've got a lot of promises here at the moment. If we keep up this pace, we might actually be in for a podium finish. Just keeping up the pace at the moment, trying to just take as much as we can out of these option tyres before they fall off the cliff. Very good first lap there as we go from 7th, and we've taken 5 positions up to 2nd. This could be a very good day for Force India, unlike they did in real life. Just checking the fuel level on the right hand side, just making sure that everything's okay and we're not going to be under fueled for the end. Of course, in real life, Force India did not do too well in Kuala Lumpur, facing troubles in the pit lane, which led to a lot of trouble and them losing a hell of a lot of points, which they were in a good position. I mean, they could be looking at maybe, I don't know, at least top 10, so they were going to look at a few points, but unfortunately that pit stop did ruin their day. They had to retire, but nevertheless, let's focus on this race at the moment. Button is still about the same pace behind as is Webber. He's starting to pull away. Just did a purple middle section there, which means I am looking hot at the moment. McLaren doing a lot better than they do in real life as well, coming into 3rd place. I don't know where Hamilton is, I think he's in 4th maybe. 141.6, and DRS is enabled, so let's have a look. Alonso's in 4th, so we get to see that, and Button is 2.1 seconds behind me, and the gap between me and 1st place is 3 seconds. 0.1. So let's see if we can actually have catch up. The optimal fuel level has been reached, so we'll go back into standard mode. Don't want to go behind on the fuel.
Good pace, keep pushing.
Just that shot there from the camera. It actually captures the sheer speed that is actually taken through this corner. maintaining that gap. Button slightly falling back down to the around a 3-second marker instead of 2. Using up half the curves as we come to the last 2 straights. Watching for that marker and heavy on the brakes again and turn in. Make sure you hit that apex real nice and smooth and straight on the gas on the way out. And the rest of the curves before you get a nice refresh. And boom, there it goes. Full bar on the curve straight away. Vettel is extremely fast through that last sector there. He's gained 1.4 seconds just in that last sector 3. So I don't really think this car has the pace to actually catch Red Bull at the moment. Which I could say is, happily, that is the same circumstances in real life. So it's not just my shit driving, which is still a contributor, but at least it's not just my fault. I am faster in the first sector, gaining a slight bit, so it's 4.3 seconds now. And just feathering the throttle as we come through those turns there. Down 2 gears once again as we come into this sector. It's really hard to actually time that turning quite nicely. It can be sometimes tricky if you're not focusing properly to actually just go a bit wide, and that ruins the entire corner because it just relies on sheer speed to be carried through it. Get it right and you will be rewarded so much. And Button is down into the 1.8 seconds, so didn't really carry through the speed into that sector 2, which is a shame because, well, now they're actually going to have a potential of losing this podium finish and a few points if we get kicked down into 3rd place, which leaves us open for Alonso as well, who's in 4th. And both cars are quite close together, so if Button knocks off another half second-ish, I guess now, at the end of the sector, he will be in the DRS zone, which means we are in big shit. So got to really push, or at least get into the pit lane before he gets into that zone, and then we're in business to actually keep in this podium. And there we go. Here's a pit lane. I always like to go in 1 lap early on aggressive stance. Main reason for that is when you're on the harder tyre, while everyone else is on cold on their out lap, when the tyres are really cold, I'm already 1 lap ahead, and my tyre temperature is a lot higher, which makes me pounce a lot easier on them and take a few positions back. Their Button's falling back down to 1.7. Vettel is just zooming ahead, doing like qualifying laps. You know, he's not waiting around for anyone. And slightly better corner there. A bit more speed that's carried through other than the previous lap. And let's see how we do here. Oh, it's a bit. We got put on the power a bit earlier, but not a lot. Okay, Button's now in the DRS zone, but he won't actually get advantage of that and take the position because I will be in the pit lane. Although he will get it because he'll be in the activation zone. But to take advantage of it, other than time throughout the overall race, he's not got anything. Okay, here we go. Trying to carry as much speed through to make this pit stop as fast as possible out on the outside, just drifting in a bit onto the grass, and here we go. Just painfully slow going across this pit lane and pulling in. Tyres on, come on, get ready to go, and we are back out. I really wish they did actually fix the pit release, because he just constantly just goes a normal speed cruising out without like any power or anything like that, as if like he doesn't make it sound like a drastic getaway as if he's actually racing. He's just like, oh yes, time to go now. Oh yes, thank you for the new tyres, boys. And Paul Di Resta is right behind in 12th place, but he does still have to make a pit stop, so this is going to be, this could be civil war, although he's still quite behind. Got to take it a bit easy on my out lap. Do not want to spin out in this position. I am on a podium finish if this out lap goes well, and that means this is good news for Force India if that happens. Oh, Paul Di Resta's been a bit aggressive on his in lap for the pit lane, unless he's going on lap 7, which could be a possibility. As he did start out of the top 10, he's on a fresh set of tyres, unlike I was, which is why I went in early also. So he's got an extra 2 laps of life in those prime options rather than that he's using. And he's actually kind of closing the gap pretty fast. I don't know actually if he is on option or prime, because obviously if you're outside the top 10, you get to choose which tyre you start on. So not quite sure what kind of strategy he's playing in this race. But he is gaining quite fast, which would suggest he's on the option. But is he going to pit in now, is the question. And yes, he's going into the pit, so that's him off my back. And that means I've got no one behind fighting me for DRS activation whatsoever. And we are up to 8th place. 8th place. That is kind of good. And going a bit wide. That's not good on these new tyres. And see the nice camera angle there. Zooming down the first long straight. And hitting the brakes. Down in second gear, turning in. Right behind Alonso. So I don't know if Alonso was running 4th. Actually. So have I actually missed out on a potential podium finish here, because Alonso had that accident at the very start of the race, which would lose him quite a bit of time. So am I now out of the podium finish is the question. And going wide, that's really bad. That's really not good. Here I am trying to do some really good laps to try and get as many positions back while everyone else is in the pit lane, and do some really bad corners in sector 2 here. So not happy with myself on that. Okay, how many people are in the pit lane on this lap? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people in the pit lane. That brings me up to 4th place. That means only Vettel, Alonso and Jenson Button ahead, and they are fighting it out on that chicane. Who's going to come out on top of that one? Alonso's still behind, but Button's still in there. He's still in the lead of Alonso. But them fighting means that I can now catch up and take part in this battle. Or he's still not out of the game. And look, they're fighting really badly for that 3rd place and 2nd place rather. All going a bit wide there on mine, and he screws up. Please don't do that again. We are in the fight for the podium here. I do not want any more mistakes. And onto the grass. Okay, that's the last one. I swear on my luck. I swear that is the last mistake. We do not want to give my chance away. This could be my first podium finish of this season, and it's only 2 races in. And it's on fucking professional mode, or whatever you want to call it. What is that mode called? Expert, professional, I don't know what it is. But it's fucking hard, I tell you that.
Okay, it looks like the car ahead is trying to create a gap. He's running full revs, maximum power.
Unfortunately, we don't have any extra fuel to go into rich mode, but our car is lighter because it has less fuel.
You're keeping up with race pace. Keep pushing.
Pulling away in that last sector there. Let's hope they fight it out on this corner. And they are, and I am gaining a lot of ground. Come on, Force India, come on! Faster, you son of a bitch.
That's exactly what we need. Push, push.
Yes, I'm fucking pushing now. Shut up, engineer. And no again, no again, no again. No. Oh, thank God for that. I see. I said that was the last mistake I was going to make on the previous lap. Oh, maybe not. Okay, I'll take it back. It wasn't so bad. Didn't lose too much ground on that. Turning in. They're gaining tiny bit of ground in front. I want to get into that DRS zone of Alonso. Oh, into the grass. Am I in that DRS zone? Please, by God, say I am. But I don't think I am. No, probably not. That was the activation zone. Just gone by. Let's see. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No, there's no DRS whatsoever. Thank you very much. And of course, Alonso and Jenson Button have faster cars as it is. Alonso gets that boost, and he is now going to be in front of Jenson Button most likely. And he has. He's made that move. He is now in P2, where Jenson Button has lost out on his second place finish, and he's in third. Which means Jenson Button can now hammer down, trying to climb back up. So I've got to prioritise on my lap times and concentrate if I'm going to actually get any chance of getting my P3 back. Yes, that's better. A lot better lap this one.
Button's next. Line him up for a pass. We're gaining on the car ahead in sector 2. Sector 2.
Oh, and traffic ahead, and Button is actually slowed down by the tracker. We come right through the middle. Here we go. We have got P3. P3 is coming up, and we're neck to neck as we come down the second to last straight. And wait for it. Here's the corner. And who's going to optimise? Button still has the inside line, so we duck in behind him, right behind it, and DRS is open, and we try to optimise, but he's got such a fast car. It's unbelievable. And I have to duck back inside. Oh, I didn't get DRS. Okay then, that's fine. Don't know why that happened. I was probably out of the activation zone before we reached the straight then. So it was just literally slipstream only, which kind of sucks. But we are still in that DRS zone behind him for this lap, and we will overtake him if it has to kill us. And there it is. There's that take. And we get past on the outside of that corner. Very unlikely place to pass, but we did it Raikkonen style. Button still on my, well, let's say he's on my arse, trying to get that position back, but I doubt I'm going to give it to him. Okay, what's going to happen here? Yeah, here he comes. He's coming. He's going using the slipstream, coming on the left-hand side. I'm keeping the outside line. He ducks back inside, and he's going to choose to take me on the other straight, where he's got more of a chance of actually overtaking. And onto the grass. That's not going to help my chance of defence here. And I'm going to go stay on the right-hand lane. So Button comes up on the left side, taking the racing line, and I'm going to dive down on the inside once again as a defence measure. And we're both neck and neck as we come through this corner here, and ducking in, and both neck to neck. Look at that, and down on the gas and back out to the corner, and I take the lead as I have the inside of that corner. who's that kind of background. I believe that is Hamilton, that is running in 5th. He's taken advantage of us two fighting and is actually starting to catch up. I can see on the minimap in the bottom left. But starting to use the slipstream on those long straights. We've got to hold him off on those. But he takes a bit of a wide approach to that corner. And as a result gets a bit late on the accelerator than I do. Otherwise he would have been real close for that upcoming straight. It's a real fight for 3rd place here. I might not be able to hold it out. I've still got another 2 laps to go, so I've got to survive another 2 laps of DRS and buttoning, using all that he has to overtake me. And I go a bit wide and neck and neck as we come onto that straight. It's getting really tense here, and dive back behind him, trying to desperately get some sort of slipstream, but his DRS is just propelling him forward a lot faster than my Force India. Able to creak on in the inside, give him space on the left, and he actually blocks me a bit there, and we have to duck in behind. And at this stage I'm thinking that I'm no longer going to get my P3, mainly because that he's just such a faster driver. He's got a faster car, but I was able to actually take it back on that corner just by diving down on the inside. Lucky there was no collision, but I really wanted this P3 and I wasn't going to let just literally it slip out of my grasp on those last few laps. So yeah, there's Hamilton in the background also. He's been taking a lot of advantage of us two fighting it out for the podium of P3, and he is now right on both of our asses. Whether or not they have team orders involved, I do not know, because there was a lot of controversy about that in Kuala Lumpur this year. It's now obviously a few weeks ago since that happened, but there was a hell of a lot of arguments on the news and after the race about team orders. We all know all about Webber and Vettel ignoring the team order for him to let him win the Grand Prix and overtaking him and actually winning the Grand Prix. And also you have the opposite scenario at the same time where Hamilton was given orders to stay ahead of Rosberg, and Rosberg vice versa told to stay behind, but he obeyed his team orders. So at the same time, is it, I mean, a comment below, what do you guys think of this the scenario that is going on at the moment for the Kuala Lumpur race? Obviously it's now passed by the time I upload this, but what were your thoughts on how it was approached by the media and the FIA and the teams in general? I mean, should have Webber actually been allowed to win the Grand Prix, and should team orders stand, or should it just be let be, you know, let racers race and whoever wins is the fastest there? I mean, give us a comment below. Also don't forget to like, and obviously I'm going to get my P3 as I so well deserve. Currently no team orders for the rest to stay behind, luckily. But yes, comment below on what you think about the team order situation if you did watch the Formula 1 in Kuala Lumpur this year, and your thoughts on how it was dealt with. But here we are, coming up to the end of this race. Down to the last straight, both McLarens, just look at them, one right behind the other, trying to get past. They know that they have the car to actually be P3, but they just can't get past the Force India. I mean, this car is just so brilliant in Sector 1. I do love the Sector 1 of this track. And here we go, the last straight, them both using the DRS, but is there too far back to actually take advantage? And we are across the line. 3rd place finish. Which means we pass our objective, which was to finish 5th, and we get loads of points for this. And there we go, 3rd place, which means we... Oh. And Duresti actually came in 12th. He came 12th. He's usually in the top 10 this year. I mean, I don't know what the AI is like in this game. It's kind of like a luck, isn't it? But there we go. Loads of clapping hands. Force India is very happy. And look at them all cheering in the background. I don't know where the rest of everyone else is. Surely the other team should be there also. But yes, they're all happy. Punch my hand, yes, and shake it as well. And that is it for this episode, and I'll see you next time.